On this week's episode of the Rambler Sports Locker, women's soccer competed against Valparaiso, and RSL reporter Ioanna Kekatos takes a closer look at Chicago athletes.
Also, men's soccer moved into first place in the MVC standings, and RSL reporter Nick Schultz recaps the Loyola Basketball Tip-Off Luncheon.
Welcome back to this week's episode of the Rambler Sports Locker. I'm Patricia Martinez.
And I'm Blaise Radosevic. The men's soccer team has been hot of late, winning 4 of their last 5 contests. On Sunday, October 7th, the Loyola men's soccer team traveled to Valparaiso, Indiana to take on the Crusaders. Junior goalkeeper Josh Laguda registered a save as the game ended in a scoreless tie. Then, on Tuesday, October 9th, the Ramblers took on fellow Jesuit school Xavier University at Loyola Soccer Park. Freshman Vasco Cardozo's goal in the 29th minute of the contest proved to be the difference as the Ramblers defeated the Musketeers 1-0. The goal was Cardozo's second game-winning goal of the season. Next, the Ramblers faced off against Missouri Valley Conference rival Missouri State University, who at the time was ranked number 25 in the nation. In yet another shutout, the Ramblers needed just 1 goal to take down the Bears, as junior Chase Wright's goal, first collegiate goal, gave Loyola a 1-0 win. The win pushed Loyola's conference record to 2-0-2 and moved the Ramblers into first place. Finally, on Tuesday, October 16th, the Ramblers defeated local college Moody Bible Institute by a final of 4-0. The Ramblers' 4 goals is a season high. And yes, if you're keeping score, the Ramblers have yet to surrender a goal in almost 3 weeks. On October 15th, redshirt senior defenseman Grant Stoneman was named to the College Soccer News Team of the Week for the second time in his career. The next day, on October 16th, Stoneman was named MVC Defensive Player of the Week for the 5th time in his career and second time of this season. Next, the Ramblers will take on the Evansville Purple Aces Saturday, October 20th at Loyola Soccer Park on senior night. The game will begin at 7 p.m.
On October 6th, Loyola's women's soccer team competed neck and neck against Drake University for their senior night game at Loyola Soccer Park. The Ramblers defeated the Bulldogs 1-0, and junior Alexa Tatarin scored the winning goal in the 76th minute of the game to give Loyola its 3rd straight win to open the Missouri Valley Conference play. Following the victory, junior Madison Ludeman and freshman Allie Kilberg were both honored by the MVC. Ludeman was named the conference's Defensive Player of the Week, while Kilberg earned Newcomer of the Week accolades. On October 13th, the Ramblers' win streak came to an end as they fell short against Illinois State 3-2 in overtime. Goals from Jenna Cesny and sophomore Jenna Ross were not enough as the Ramblers fell to 3-1 in conference play. The Ramblers got back to their winning ways with a 2-0 shutout at Valparaiso on October 17th. Cesny started off the scoring for Loyola in the 12th minute, and Laudeman slammed the door with a goal of her own in the 74th minute. The win puts Loyola's conference record at 4-1-0, heading into their next match Sunday, October 21st at Missouri State. The Chicago Bears competed this past Sunday, October 14th in Miami, Florida. The Bears' loss in overtime wasn't the only thing that had fans worried.
RSL reporter Ioanna Kekatos has a close-up look at a Bears linebacker and a potential injury in this week's Chicago Close-Up.
On this week's Chicago Close-Up, I'll be taking a closer look at Chicago Bears' new star linebacker, Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack injured his right ankle in the first half of the Bears' October 14th loss to the Miami Dolphins. Mack missed 16 snaps against the Dolphins during the course of the game and had to play most of the game with a taped ankle. He wound up playing 79% of the Bears' snaps on defense and finished with 2 tackles. This was his first game in a Bears uniform without a sack or forced fumble. This season, Mack has totaled 19 tackles, 5 sacks, and 4 forced fumbles, returning 1 of those for a touchdown. I'd even say he makes a worthy run at being this league's most valuable player. And let's be honest, without Mack, the Bears would likely be at the bottom of the NFC North. Thanks to Mack, the Bears are in first place in the division for the first time in 5 years. Mack's ability to draw more than one pass blocker allows defense coordinator Vic Fangio to rush 4 and avoid taking the unnecessary risks, which is why the Bears have the league's second lowest blitz rate at 10.7, according to ESPN. If Mack continues on his current pace, he will finish 2018 by becoming the first player in 4 years to reach 20 sacks. Hopefully, with his injury, he can still stay on track toward that goal. It will be unfortunate for the Bears if Mack needs to miss any more time this week as the New England Patriots come to town. Linebacker Aaron Lynch would see an increase in snaps if Khalil Mack can't go. Tune in this Sunday, October 21st, to see if Mack suits up as the New England Patriots take on the Chicago Bears. That's all for this week's Close-Up. I'm Ioanna Kekatos. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Ioanna. After beginning the season 11-4, the Loyola women's volleyball team has lost 5 matches in a row over the last 2 weeks. Loyola began the losing streak with 2 losses at home against Northern Iowa and Drake. The third loss came on the road at the hands of the Valparaiso Crusaders. The Ramblers won the first 2 sets before dropping the final 3 to lose the match 3-2. Next came a match on the road with the Bradley Braves on Friday, October 12th. After splitting the first 2 sets, the Braves won a tightly contested third set, 26-24, before stomping the Ramblers in the fourth set, 25-12, to take the match 3-1. Finally, the Ramblers took on the Illinois State Redbirds in Normal, Illinois on Saturday, October 13th. Illinois State dominated the match, winning the last 2 sets, each by 9 points, to sweep the Ramblers 3-0. The Ramblers are now 3-5 in Valley play, with an overall record of 11-9. The team will return home Friday, October 19th, when they face the Indiana State Sycamores at Gentile Arena. The match begins at 7 p.m.
The Loyola men's and women's cross-country teams wrapped up their regular season at the Bradley Pink Classic in Peoria, Illinois on October 12th. The women's team placed 11th overall with 335 points in the final Red Race team standings. Redshirt senior Lindsey Brewis led the pack for the Ramblers and was the top MVC finisher in the women's 6K race, checking in 5th overall with a time of 20 minutes and 45 seconds. Sophomore Mimi Reimers and freshman Claire Hangsbaugh finished the race less than 9 seconds apart from each other. Reimers finished with a time of 21 minutes and 40 seconds to finish 41st, while Hangsbaugh placed 51st at 21 minutes and 49 seconds. In the men's standings, Loyola scored 476 points to finish 18th overall. Junior Derek Rink was Loyola's top finisher in the men's 8K, clocking in a time of 25 minutes and 46 seconds to finish 75th. After her performance, Brewis was named the Missouri Valley Conference Female Cross Country Athlete of the Week. This is Brewis's 3rd weekly honor this season. The Ramblers will return to Peoria for the 2018 MVC Cross Country Championship on October 27th.
The women's golf team competed in the Shirley Spork Invitational in Ypsilanti, Michigan on October 8th and 9th. Senior Elena Bowser earned a runner-up finish individually, while the Ramblers finished tied for 5th overall with a score of 621. Then, on October 15th and 16th, the Ramblers closed their fall season at the Missouri Valley Conference Preview in Chesterton, Indiana. Again, Bowser led the Ramblers and finished 2nd overall. As a team, Loyola finished 7th out of 9 teams. Meanwhile, the men's golf team concluded their fall season at the Titans Motown Collegiate in Highland, Michigan on Monday, October 15th and Tuesday, October 16th. The Ramblers finished 2 strokes under par, good for 2nd overall in the team standings. Senior Orion Yamat led the team with a 4 under par 212, 2 shots short of first place, while recording his 2nd hole-in-one in as many events in the first round. Both the men's and women's golf teams will begin their respective spring seasons in February. The women's team will open February 4th, and the men will open February 11th.
On Wednesday, October 17th, the Loyola Basketball hosted their tip-off luncheon, and RSL reporter Nick Schultz is here with the recap.
Thanks, Patricia. After a 6-month absence, college basketball season is finally upon us. Season ticket holders and members of Loyola's administration gathered at the Montgomery Club to celebrate the start of the college basketball season at the Loyola Basketball Tip-Off Luncheon on October 17th. Former Loyola men's soccer player and current 670 The Score radio host Mike Mulligan was the day's MC, while athletic director Steve Watson and 1963 national champion Jerry Harkness also spoke. But the keynote speeches came from men's basketball coach Porter Moser and women's basketball coach Kate Octor, who each discussed their excitement for the coming season. Entering her 3rd year as Loyola head coach, Octor talked about the youth movement on her roster, as 8 of her 11 players are freshmen and sophomores. The Ramblers won 7 games last year, 5 more than they won in 2016, and were picked to finish 9th in the Missouri Valley Conference preseason poll October 18th. Moser's entering his 8th year at the helm and talked about how things have changed since the Ramblers became the Cinderella team of March Madness. Loyola brings back 3 starters from last year's MVC championship team, including reigning MVC Player of the Year Clayton Custer and MVC Freshman of the Year Cam Krutwig. The success doesn't appear to be just a fluke, though. Loyola was picked to win the Missouri Valley Conference in the preseason poll on October 18th. Custer was named preseason Player of the Year, while Krutwig and redshirt senior Marcus Towns were named second team preseason All-MVC. Both teams will play exhibition games at Gentile Arena this year. The men's team will take on Winona State University on October 23rd, and the women's team will face North Central College on November 3rd. Rambler fans can see regular season basketball on November 6th when the men's basketball team takes on the University of Missouri-Kansas City at Gentile Arena. It should be a fun season this year, and Moser said he expects the atmosphere in Gentile Arena to be as electric as it was when Loyola sold out its season finale against Illinois State last year. Fans won't have to wait long for opening night. It's just 18 days away. For the Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Nick Schultz. Back to you.
Thanks, Nick. I was also at that luncheon, and I'm looking forward to the start of the season.
As am I. I can't wait for the season to start. For our full episodes and the chance to get in on the conversation, follow and like our social media handles for an up-to-date look at all things Rambler Sports.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Patricia Martinez.
And I'm Blaise Radosevic. Check back next week for another episode of the Rambler Sports Locker.
And as always, don't forget to turn out the lights.